and stand if you're able.
Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need to consider the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Got a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Consider the minutes of the January 12th, 2026 regular meeting. Could I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
Got a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Any citizen wishing to make statements during the discussion of any item must first be recognized by the commission chair. After being recognized, that person should state their name and the name of any organization represented. Statements should be limited to 5 minutes. Please silence all phones and electronic devices. Recording the meeting is allowed, and the commission requests that anyone using special recording equipment be seated in the back row to avoid creating a distraction during the meeting. Okay, we'll move on to old business, and there is no old business at this time. New business. We have a item A, resolution 202603, and I think Mr. Potzner is going to talk about expanding the fire district number 2.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So created in 2018, Fire District Number 2 consists of Albion, Eureka, North Homestead, South Homestead, Union Townships, and the cities of Hoisington, Olmutz, and Sault. It has been proposed that the district be expanded to include Fairview, Grant, and Wheatland Townships, and the city of Galatia. Should this resolution be adopted, the Barton County Commissioners will hold a public hearing at 9 a.m. Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at the Barton County Courthouse, right here in this room, regarding the expansion. It is anticipated that the Board of Trustees, as appointed by the County Commissioners, would expand to a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 12 members. So today we just asked you to consider adoption of this resolution. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Sure.
Matt, the reason for the expansion is that each person or each entity can have a seat on the board. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Sure.
This morning, I just had a brief second to ask you about this, and I found it interesting that this district is already being covered by Fire District Number 2, right?
Correct.
I don't know if you want to expand on that at all, or.
Yeah, most of the time, when there is a fire in that area, the Hoisington fire is paged out about shortly after. And it's mainly because there's just a lack of personnel to respond in the area of these townships. So this is just a good thing. I think that's going to have to happen. Just the way the townships, just less individuals to respond to these fires, and yeah.
So they're already covering this area. This will just give them authority in that area.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Mr. Chair,
Okay. Yes.
I agree that it's more of a funding change, maybe. They'll be included in that taxing district.
Correct.
And now they'll pay taxes as opposed to paying a fee out of each township's individual budgets. And to provide
Correct.
service.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Anybody else have any discussion? Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Makes a lot of sense. Mr. Chair, I would move to adopt resolution 2026-03, a resolution to expand Fire District Number 2 to include Fairview, Grant, and Wheatland Townships, and the city of Galatia in Barton County, Kansas.
Okay, can I get a second? Okay, got a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, now we have a Fire District Number 2 appointment of a Board of Trustees.
So per resolution 2018-10, which is the current resolution for Fire District Number 2, the members of the Fire District Board of Trustees shall consist of not more than one appointee from each participating township and not more than one from each participating city. There's one unexpired term ending December 31st, 2026, open for North Homestead Township. Curtis Peterson has reapplied to represent the city of Almonds. That term would expire December 31st, 2027. So today we just asked you to consider reappointment of Curtis Peterson, representing the city of Almonds for Board of Trustees for Fire District Number.
And I believe that Mr. Peterson, he lives in the town of Olmutz, and he's been on the board ever since the start of this fire district number 2. So I think he's a good representative. Any discussion? Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
I move to reappoint Curtis Peterson, representing the city of Almonds, to the Board of Trustees for Fire District Number 2, Barton County, Kansas, determined December 31, 2020.
Ready for a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, and item C, we have our county attorney. Like to let us know what's going on, and so, good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
I guess I will start out. I will stay inside me is Ryan DeYoung. He replaced Casey Hubbard when y'all stole him from me. So I know most of you have met him, but for those who haven't, he's taken over that role. He came to us from Great Bend Police Department. He's been doing a great job. So looking at a few things, I just want to touch on. First off, I'll kind of note, I think this past year, 2025, I can properly classify as a rebuilding year. We had a lot of senior staff retire. We had, obviously, Casey leaving was a big change to the office that he'd been with us 23 years. So this has been an opportunity for us to take a look at some things and bring in a lot of new people. It's a very new staff to where what we had a couple years ago when I was previously with the office. But so far, we are now coming into 2026 at full staff. I think we have a very good team we've put together, and hopefully that now that we have everything in place, we can continue to improve. We're still working on some training aspects with some people, but we are seeing it's a very promising team. Overall, looking at last year, still working through a lot of numbers, seeing what our systems can provide us, but I wanted to point out a couple things. I did provide you all a handout kind of comparing where total criminal case filings have been over the last several years, 2018 to present. So that would cover my time in office, previous county attorney, and then going back into Amy Meller's last year as well, which was conveniently also my first year with the office. So in that time, we've seen some variability. I will note that we have seen an uptick. It's our first time countywide breaking 500 criminal case filings since 2018, which I am very glad to see that. I will note I did put a little caveat at the bottom with these numbers that we haven't gone through and broken down everything. So there are, with those total filings, they do consist of some municipal appeals, as well as some cases that have been filed, such as through the Attorney General's office, either on behalf of my office, or some of the few areas where they do have independent prosecutorial authority, as well as some cases where we do have special prosecutors for cases that for one reason or another, we just can't ethically handle. Those just come up time to time and are a little more sporadic. But in my experience, those outside cases probably amount somewhere between 6, 7, 8 a year. So not a substantial number. Notably, the last several years, being able to have that uptick in 2025 compared to 23 and 24, I think that's a good way for us to show that we do take crime seriously and we're willing to devote the resources that we have to try and bring that down. Not going to really go into any conviction side things because I really don't have clean numbers on those yet, because so cases, I'll just say right now, cases are taking longer than usual to resolve. I attribute a lot of that to the attorney shortage going along statewide. I think there's been some previous discussions here about it, and certainly anyone who goes around town notices a lot of former law offices that aren't anymore can see that this is something that's affecting really the whole state, but particularly those of us in the rural west communities, to where the law schools are not graduating enough attorneys to keep up with retirements at this point. This has led to an impact on our side where our appointed felony defense attorney, our list for that has been somewhat variable this year or this past year, where at various times we have seen people coming on and off, and some people just due to the number of cases, because our local the attorneys we have on our list also cover a substantial amount of other counties. So they are responsible to make sure that they do not exceed the caseload they can ethically handle. So we have seen some of them come on and off throughout the past year. And currently, our appointment list for high-level felonies in particular has been particularly short and has required us to work with the state Board of Indigent Defense Services, to where we have had to bring in attorneys from Wichita and even Kansas City to cover particularly high-level cases, just because we have not had the local attorney base to cover those. So that is going to be an ongoing problem going forward in many ways. I know, unfortunately, for y'all having to replace Patrick at this time, y'all are going to feel that shortage and how that has changed the market and the availability of qualified individuals. So that's just something we all are going to have to deal with together. I know there's a lot going on at the state level to hopefully solve some of these issues over the next several years, but we're just going to have to see how that plays out between the legislature, the Supreme Court, and I know some private organizations that are taking steps to try and recruit more attorneys to rural areas. So, no, I just threw a lot at you, but if you have any questions, I'm glad to do my best to answer them.
That's a great update. The numbers are impressive, so I thank you. I think you're doing a great job, or you
Yeah.
guys are. And I know with each number, I'm sure it's a lot of hours that you're putting in also.
Yeah, there's some granularity to these numbers because certain types of cases obviously take a lot less time than others. So we get a lot of simple possessions. I can have one attorney knock out a bunch of those, but as we deal with more major cases, those can take more time. And so just looking at the numbers, I just want to make clear there's a lot of bits and pieces that go into these.
And I appreciate the update because I think the public needs to know these things that you're talking about.
Yeah, and any of you ever want to come by the office, I'm glad to show you some more information and show you how we operate and changes we're making.
Okay,
Great.
all right.
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
Colin, are these felony cases, or when it says criminal cases, are they felony, or can they be lesser offenses as well?
These numbers would include they mostly include misdemeanor and felony charges. We typically weight heavier probably towards felony because anything that happens within the city that's covered by city ordinance that's misdemeanor would typically go to city courts, versus us being the outside of a few oddballs that the Attorney General's office can bring. We have jurisdiction over all the felonies, and we are the only office with jurisdiction over the felonies. So we've seen some changes there. Might remember a little over a year ago, I believe, the police department worked with city court here in Great Bend they're taking misdemeanor marijuana cases that they weren't taking before. So stuff that happens in the cities, if it's lower level, will typically stay with the cities.
Thank you. And I do want to give you a compliment. I was at a Humane Society meeting last week, and unfortunately, there's a tough case that I guess you're having to deal with. And they really appreciated how easy it was to work with you guys, and appreciated that.
So we have made a very concerted effort since I've came in to strengthen our relationships with all of our local partners, that being either law enforcement agencies or other community groups such as Humane Society, Center for Counseling, Crisis Center, to try and make sure that we are doing everything we can to work together, since our goals quite often align.
You guys for the update.
Yeah, very good.
Mr. Chairman, I'm curious about one thing in particular. Methamphetamine, what have you seen with that? Has that gone up or gone down or stayed the same?
It's always been a substantial problem. It's hard to quantify because for those crimes that it's not directly a drug crime, it still is the underlying cause for a lot of crime, property or violent crime. I will say we have seen, I think methamphetamine has stayed high, but we have also seen upticks in several other areas. Cocaine has been making a resurgence. We really weren't expecting that one. Fentanyl has started to be more of a problem out here. I know during my last stint with the office, we were starting to see a little bit. When I went back east, I dealt with it a whole lot more. And since coming back, I have seen the pattern of it only increasing. So I'd say methamphetamine is still a problem, but we're seeing more of a diversification of drug types in this area that we hadn't seen a few years ago.
Thank you.
I guess with the addiction and money involved, I guess it's just hard to stop anything like that.
Yeah, I could spend all day talking to you about the toxicological impacts and the psychological impacts, but I know that we try and do the best we can. I know talking to our partners in probation, they have been putting a very strong emphasis on drug treatment because that is the root of so many of our problems. And I know there's been some work to hopefully they can try and expand some offerings through various avenues over the next year or so.
And kind of along those lines, and I haven't had a chance to share this with you because I just found this out yesterday, but Colin helped put together a meeting with Kiwanis, and it's say no to meth, but it deals with more than just methamphetamines. And that I just found out yesterday that the school district's very interested in incorporating that with the DARE program, and that will go towards fifth graders, and it's pretty powerful. So Kiwanis is all the details aren't worked out, but we couldn't go any farther until we knew if the school was okay with it, and they are. So that's
Great news.
a big news. So hopefully that'll help you guys on down the line. It's just a big circle that it'll take a while, but it's a really pretty cool program.
Absolutely.
You got to start out young to
Mhm.
educate.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you guys for helping being a part of that too.
Glad to do it.
Welcome aboard to Ryan.
Yes.
Hi, Ryan.
To be here.
Yeah. How long have you been here? Couple.
Since October,
Oh, okay, good.
a few months.
One other thing I had noted down that I forgot that I'll just mention real quick is trying to expand training opportunities with my staff. We're looking at ways we can take advantage of some more opportunities. We're able to attend the National District Attorneys Conference last year that was conveniently held in Kansas City. So we took advantage of that, and we did discover that outside of our budgeted funds, per statute, a certain amount of criminal court costs is set aside in the prosecutor's training fund. From our discovery, it looks like that has not been being utilized for a while. In fact, we found out there wasn't even a budget line for it in CIC. So this is non-taxpayer money that we are allowed to use for the explicit purpose of training my office staff. So we are going to try and utilize that to, without increasing costs to taxpayers, use that as an opportunity to send the staff, particularly the attorneys, to more trainings to expand their capabilities and look for things, particularly at the national level, to where we can improve our capabilities. And through use of this fund, this will not increase cost to taxpayers.
Great.
Okay, any more discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much for the information. Okay. We're going to move on down to item D, emergency management. And we've got Mr. Kelly. Going to give us an update on this.
So each year, come to you with our LEPC, which are local emergency planning commission, nominees to be reappointed to the committee. LEPCs were born out of the mid-'80s for the Communities Right to Know Act. which is Title II for hazardous materials. A bigger push for people to know what's happening in their communities and what dangers they pose and what people are doing to correct them. You guys have the reappointment list for several of our members, which is a 2-year non-compensated term and runs out through 2027. About half the group is up in 26 and half the group's up in 27. So we split them up. So we're comprised of representatives from many groups: law enforcement, fire, emergency management, health, hospital, media, broadcast communications, transportation, local environmental groups, community service civic groups, facilities and industries that fall under Title II. So we have a wide range of people that sit on our committee. We meet bi-monthly, and they take part in helping develop our training and exercise program as well. So it's a good way to get community input because they come from a lot of diverse backgrounds.
You said you rotate, or the individuals that are on this list are just half the individuals that are part.
Yeah, I think you guys have the membership list. So yeah, it's about half of our group.
Okay. Okay, there's a lot of talent on this group,
There is.
and have to commend Commissioner Zimmerman is representing the commissioners. So thank you for that. You have more discussion?
This time I just ask for a motion to approve the membership list for the Barton County Local Emergency Planning Committee to include the following reappointments.
Any information? Okay. All right. Ready for a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to move to approve the January 15, 2026 membership list of the Barton County Local Emergency Planning Committee to include the following reappointments: Judy Gorm, Barton County Environmental Management; Jennifer Hamby, Barton County Solid Waste; Megan Elmore, Boisington EMS; Martin Miller, Great Bend Airport; Jamie Tomlinson, Rural Water Number 3; Lindsay Inslee, Barton County Health Department; Donna Zimmerman, Barton County Commission; Christina Jimenez, Sunflower Diversified Services; Luke McCormick, Claire Barton Hospital; Brittany Glenn, Ellenwood EMS; Sean Kelly, Barton County Emergency Management, and direct Mr. Kelly to forward the complete membership list to the Kansas Division of Emergency Management and the Kansas Commission on Emergency Planning and Response.
Well done. I'll second that.
First and second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. Okay, do we have an executive session? No need for it? Okay. All right, we'll move on to ending business. Following the announcement for following the close of the agenda meeting, the commission will consider the authorization of personnel changes for classified positions, sign any documentation approved during the agenda meeting, or sign any other documentation required for regular county business. Similar action may take place throughout the day. County officials have been invited to attend the Barton County Conservation District annual meeting beginning at 5:30 p.m. Thursday, January the 22nd, 2026. The meeting will be held at the Immaculate Conception Parish Hall, 110 Williams, Claflin, Kansas. Elected officials have been invited to attend the Barton County Historical Society annual meeting beginning at 6:30 p.m. Monday, January 26, 2026, at the Best Western Courtyard, 2920 10th Street, Great Bend, Kansas. And appointments, although subject to change, the following appointments have been scheduled at 9:45 this morning or following the close of the agenda meeting, planning session with media consultant at 10 o'clock, regular business discussion and financial update, Mr. Potzner, County Administrator. At 11 o'clock, equipment needs, Jennifer Hamby, Solid Waste Director. At 11:15, program update, Employee Engagement Committee. And 1 o'clock, legislative workshop. Commissioner Esfeld is going to lead this. And the county edition, KVGB AM, Thursday at 11:05 this morning. Members of the 20th Judicial District Juvenile Service Department are scheduled for January 22nd, 2026. And other business discussion items. This is mainly for the commissioners. Do we have something?
Mr. Chair, the only thing I have, two things, is I did attend the Humane Society meeting and Rochelle Sharp is the director and she's doing a fabulous job and she's doing a lot with Facebook and the website. And she's getting animals adopted much quicker. So they're moving out of the shelter faster and she's going to come meet us, I think, in a week. Is that right, Mr. Potts? Yeah, we've got her going to come and so you guys can meet her. And then next week I won't be at the meeting because I'll be in Topeka with KLPG. Very important legislative issues going on. So if anybody has any concerns, let me know before I go. Well, wait a minute, maybe not, might be a few too many, but I'll do what I can there and I'll bring back some information.
Thank you, Commissioner, for doing that. Anybody else? And I think still have to mention Commissioner Estel had a birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's a lot.
we're not going to ask you how old you are and then we're not going to sing to you. So
Neither one, that's good.
if that's okay.
It's all right with me. Thanks.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
So moving on, citizens organizations may present requests or proposals for initial consideration at this time. I see none. The commissioners are available to the public on Tuesdays during regular business hours. One or more commissioners may be present in the commission chambers conducting county business throughout the day on Tuesdays. The commissioners may individually schedule personnel appointments related to county business at their discretion. The next regular meeting will be at 9 a.m. Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. And if there's nothing else, I would look for or need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is that first and second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.